I'm gonna take off my makeup and we're gonna get into this story time on my roommate from hell. Let's go. So people have said my last story time, when I did a story time on how the cops took my car or stole my car, people said that one was a bit too long, so I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. So if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Maybe you've seen the 2 story time reels on Instagram, but if you haven't, that's okay, because I'm going to get into it. So basically, in my junior year of college, I moved into this building on my campus. I went to the University of Mount St. Vincent in Riverdale, New York, which is a neighborhood in the Bronx. But it's like the outer Bronx, so if you were going to Yonkers or getting on the highway to make your way upstate, we were literally like the very last exit before you reached like Westchester County. Yeah, so that's a little bit about the school. I moved into Marilac Hall. It's actually pronounced Mariac, but everyone says Marilac. So yeah, Marilac Hall. Really nice building. And so when I use the word roommate for this video, I mean it in a way of like an apartment roommate, because this dorm building was literally like mini apartments or like hotel rooms. So we had suites, which mean we had our room, our roommate had their own separate room, and then we had like a mini shared hallway space and a shared private bathroom. So that was the perk of this building. The only downside was this building did not have an elevator. So we had an elevator, probably one of the first ones ever built in the state of New York, because it was a very old building, oldest building on campus, probably built in like the 1800s, 1700s, I think 1800s. And yeah, the elevator just didn't work, because to operate the elevator, it had like a lever system that you would have to use, and it wouldn't always stop on the correct floor, so it just became a health hazard. So they discontinued use of it like in the 2000s, 2010s. So for, you know, the last group of students that went to Mount St. Vincent and lived in Marilac Hall, you could not use elevators. So move-in day was a bitch and move-out day was a bitch. But other than that, great experience. People said the building was haunted, but personally for me, I didn't have any ghostly sightings, which probably wouldn't have creeped me out anyways, because like I used to see ghost sightings a lot when I was younger, and they didn't really bother me that much. They were like Casper, they were friendly ghosts. Anyways, back to the story. So move-in day, you know, I get my keys from Res Life, and you know, just like an update on like my room assignment, building assignment, make sure everything is what it was at the end of last semester, what I was promised, and it is. So I grab my key, I meet my family back at the car. We also had our own parking lot, which was great, because at the time I had my car, my little baby. So yeah, I could park it in the parking lot, which was perfect. And the view was insane. Literally had a view of the Hudson River. Our school slogan is even called "The Right Place on the River," which is so funny because so many students call it the wrong place on the river. But I thought it was nice. It's a cute slogan. Yeah, so I saw the Hudson River, not outside of my window because I didn't have like a river facing view. I had a woods facing view, so I saw a bunch of trees, which was beautiful. But I would have much preferred the river view, but I feel like it worked out, because in the winter by the water it gets super cold, so it would have been a lot of cold air in my room. But thankfully my room, compared to like everyone else's, my room got super warm when they turned the heat on. So that was like a major plus of living in that building, because my other dorm buildings were freezing. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, so you can see the Hudson, and I could also see like the Palisades, which is Jersey, with the part of Jersey with the mountains and trees and whatnot. And then we had the lacrosse and the soccer field right outside of our door. So great if you were like on a sports team on campus and you lived there, you could just walk outside your room to practice. Anyways, move-in day. So I move in, first person on my floor to like move in. I'm also like the first person in my dorm to move in, because my roommate hadn't gotten there yet. And so, you know, we cleaned everything from the rooter to the tutor. So the floor all the way up to the ceiling, me and my family cleaned, scrubbed, dusted, mopped, sweeped, everything. You know, we were working like Cinderella and whatnot in there. We also cleaned the bathroom, because we had a private bathroom, nice little bathroom, walk-in shower, small, but you know, it was nice. I I'll take it, you know, better than sharing a bathroom with like 100 other people. Clean the bathroom. It was like shining, sparkling. And then when we're finished and, you know, finished moving all my stuff in, my roommate shows up. And, you know, at this point, I'm really excited because for all of college, I did not have a roommate. Sorry about that. I lived in a single dorm for my like entire college life. So I thought that was like fun to have a roommate. So, you know, I'm excited. I see her walk up. She stops at, you know, her door. She's setting things down. She didn't have a lot of stuff when she moved in. Very minimalist. She had like just bags of clothes, and that was pretty much it. Unlike me, I brought like my own furniture. I had my own mattress, because if you know, you know, the mattresses at Mount St. Vincent are like this thick, literally. That's what they give you. So I bought my own mattress, my own refrigerator, and my own microwave because I didn't want to rent them. And I also have my own TV because I didn't know you could rent them from the school. That's not something I found out about until I graduated. So yeah, I didn't know, but hey, you learn something new every day. So I brought my stuff. Finished moving in. She comes, she's there with like her boyfriend or whatever, and so I'm like, hi, are you, and I'm also gonna do a name reveal. I've just been calling her Miss So-and-so because I didn't want to give her the satisfaction of speaking on her. Let me get my tea for this, hold on. Of speaking on her name, but so many people were like, oh, reveal her name, who is it? Especially people that like went to school with me. So my roommate shows up. Her name is Chelsea. She shows up, and, you know, I'm like, hi, are you Chelsea? Because I see the name tag on the door. I'm like, hi, I'm Donshea. I'll be your roommate. So nice to meet you. And so I'm like standing there, my hands out. She just goes like this, looks me up and down twice, rolls her eyes, and scoffs. And then she walks off and goes into her room. I'm like, okay, that's what we're doing. Okay. I'm like, you know what? Maybe she's having a bad day. Maybe she doesn't speak English. Lots of foreign exchange students, you know? And I like to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. So my wheels are turning. There could be like a million reasons why she didn't speak. But no, the bitch was just rude. That's okay. So anyways, you know, I let a minute or two go by because I don't want to seem like all overly eager or desperate. A minute or two passes, then I walk back over and I'm like, hi, I don't think we really got the chance to like introduce ourselves. Once again, I'm Donshea. And I'm like pointing to the door because I'm like, what if she's deaf? What if she doesn't speak English? So I'm like over enunciating everything. I'm like, I'm Donshea. And I'm like pointing to my name on the door. And then I hold my hand out again. And I'm like, are you Chelsea? And I'm pointing to the name on her door. And she just goes and walks off. And so I'm like, okay, got it. Hint taken. She doesn't want to introduce herself. No biggie. You know, I'm not stressing it at this point. I'm going to leave it alone. Maybe she was upset she had to walk up 4 flights of stairs. Maybe she got into an argument with her boyfriend before this. I don't really know. I don't really care at this point, you know. I'm just like, whatever. It's moving day. I start back school tomorrow. Junior year, you know, almost done, halfway there, halfway point. I'm not gonna let her dampen my mood. So anyways, go back in my room. Pretty much just putting like the finishing touches on. I had lots of like twinkly lights and like the little clips to put up Polaroid pictures and whatnot. And I also have like little, I can't remember what they're called, but you see them all the time in like Target and TJ Maxx and Home Goods. They're like the little things with the phrases like live, love, laugh. I mean, I didn't have that, but I had like things like that. And then I also had like a board where I could always put like reminders and whatnot. So yeah, so I'm putting those finishing touches on, and all of a sudden we hear a drip, 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 drop, drip, shh. We hear some water, and you know, we had just cleaned the bathroom. So my mom's like, oh, did anyone leave the water on? We're like, no. She's like, is anyone in the bathroom? And we're like, no, we're all here. And she's like, are you sure you didn't leave the water on? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure, but you know, I'll double check. So I go in. Lo and behold, it's Miss Chelsea's boyfriend. He's taking a shower in the bathroom that we literally just cleaned. Yeah. Not only is he taking a shower, you know, he's full commando. Yeah. Which is expected when one showers. But he's taking a shower. And he doesn't even do the liberty of closing the shower curtain, so he leaves it open, which is great. Now there's like a pool of water on the floor, and he tracked in dirt from his shoes, so the dirt from his shoes mixed with the water from the shower, and now there's mud on the floor that we just cleaned. Dear Jesus, fix it. Anyways, so yeah, and he also doesn't close the bathroom door, so guess what? I also got flashed. I wanted to burn my eyes out. Anyways, you know, I walk back in the room, I'm like, oh, her boyfriend's taking a shower. Everyone's like, what? I'm like, yeah. Like, why? I'm like, I don't know. And so my mom, you know, she closes the bathroom door. She goes, she knocks, and she's like, hi, sweetie. Hi, honey. Yeah, we just cleaned that bathroom. So could you not take a shower? Could you wait until later? Or could you just, like, clean up after yourself when you're done? He doesn't say anything. His girlfriend doesn't say anything. She's just staring there deadpan, you know. She's looking at us like 11 from Stranger Things, like, you know, she's looking kind of crazy, looking a little crazy. Neither one says anything. We close. Oh, do I have, what's in my hair? Oh, paper towel. Okay. We close the bathroom door, and we're like, you know what, let's just let God deal with it, because if we deal with it, we're going to jail. Anyways, so, you know, not a big deal. Use the shower, okay. He'll probably, you know, be like an adult and clean it up afterwards. He doesn't. We love that. We love that. We love that. So anyways, at this point, we're finished. Done putting the finishing touches on. We leave, you know, like, I say my goodbyes to the rest of my family. I say thank you for, you know, helping me pack my stuff, unpack my stuff, clean up, put my stuff up, clean the bathroom. Thank you. And then because of me, I left my toiletries at home. Like, no soap, no face soap, no nothing. Yeah, I packed everything else, all my lotions, my skincare, but I can't apply skincare if my skin's not clean. So me and my dad made a Target run, and we got dinner, because, like, I didn't really feel like cooking, and I also didn't have groceries, so I think we got groceries too. Grabbed dinner, got groceries, did the Target run, got Starbucks. The Starbucks is important, so pay attention to that. Then we head back to my dorm. Got it? Got it. Okay, talking is like my throat is dry. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we head back to the dorm, and, you know, it's like early. It's not super late. We got back at around like 6:30, 7 o'clock-ish. 6, 7, you know, anyways, we got back at around that time. So I'm like, okay, I'm not really gonna get ready for bed now, because logically, like, it doesn't make sense. Why would I get ready for bed? And I might go back out or something, you know. And there's also, like, tons of events for back to school on the day we go back. So I'm like, maybe someone's hosting something, you know, let me just, like, leave my clothes on. So I did like some pre-work assignments, some reading assignments, you know, did all that, finished my Starbucks. I had a venti, by the way. I had a venti. I think I had a venti matcha with coconut milk. So lovely. Yeah, so I had that. And, you know, around 7:30, 7:40, 7:50ish, I finished the drink, and I'm like, okay. But, you know, I know me, and I have a very small bladder. I have a bladder like the size of a chipmunk's brain. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to pee in a little bit. So I, like, kind of cancel any plans that I may have for going back out of my dorm, because I'm like, I need to be in the radius of the bathroom. So then, you know, I hear a click. I hear the bathroom door. Okay, all right, Chelsea is gonna use the bathroom, maybe get ready for bed. She does. She takes a shower. I'm like, okay, no big deal. Maybe she'll be out 10, 20 minutes at the most. She's not. So, like, she goes in at 7:50. Then 8:50 comes. Ooh, an hour. Okay. I see you everything shower, or at least that's what I think she's doing. Excuse me. She doesn't come out. She doesn't come out. Did she hit her head? Maybe. I don't know. Is she, like, did she pass out on the bathroom floor? Who knows? But she doesn't come out the bathroom. I'm like, okay. And now my bladder's amping up. Your girl's bladder's kicking. Like, it's like boom, 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 boom. Like, let me out, you know? And I'm like, oh, I have to pee. How fun. So I go, you know, mosey on down to the bathroom door, our lovely shared bathroom. I hit her with a knock. I'm like, hey, Chelsea, you almost done? I have to pee. Like, are you almost done? I have to use the bathroom. No response. Doesn't say anything. I'm like, okay. She's got some music going, a little Bad Bunny and whatnot. The shower's on. Okay. So maybe she can't hear me. Boom, boom, boom. This time. A little bass in it, so she can hear me a little louder. I'm like, yo, Chelsea. Like, I have to use the bathroom. I have to pee. I'm like, are you almost done? And then I'm like, you know what? Still no response. I'm like, hey, look, I know we just met. We don't know each other that well. But if you're in the shower and the curtain is closed, as it should be, can you just unlock the door? I run in, pee, wash my hands, come out. I'll be in and out like that. No answer. So I, boom, boom, boom. A little more bass this time. So she could finally hear me. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Like NYPD. But anyways, I'm like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, hey, Chelsea, are you almost done? This time, I get a response. Was it, no, sorry, I'm not almost done. You might want to use one of the shared bathrooms. No. It wasn't a, no, sorry, I'm not almost done. Be out in 10. Nothing. It was, I'll be done when I'm fucking done. Yeah, that's what she shouts out. She shouts out, I'll be done when I'm fucking done. Whoa. And I was shocked. I'm like, okay, I see you. Let me just go back to my room and get out of your business. Okay. So I do that. I leave. I go back into my room. I'm like, okay, you know what? Shit. Maybe I shouldn't have asked that, because maybe now, out of spite, she's gonna stay in there a bit longer, and she does. She stays in there way longer. So now it's like 9:50, which would make 2 hours. She went in at 7:50, right? 8:50, 9:50. That's 2 hours. And she's still in there, so I'm like, okay, like I really have got to pee. And honestly, this is impressive. I typically can't hold my bladder for that long, but I held it for an hour. Ooh, go me. My doctors would probably hate that. My kidneys were screaming, my bladder was screaming, my ureters were screaming. So I run down to the other side of my building, because on every floor didn't have a shared bathroom. We only had shared bathrooms on the first and second floor. So I have to go down 2 flights of stairs. Then I have to walk all the way across the hall. Just for reference, just for a little context, my building was a shared building. So one side was undergraduate and the other side was like graduate side. And they had ended up like splitting the building until like after my year. They decided to make the whole building graduate, but we don't need to know that. That's not relevant right now. So anyways, I run to the other side. It takes about 12 minutes all total. So it takes 5 minutes to get to the bathroom, a minute or two to use the bathroom, then 5 minutes to come back upstairs. So about 10 to 12 minutes. 12 minutes, let's say 12 minutes in total. So and I'm not even running how I normally run. I'm like this is me walking to the other side of the building to go to the bathroom, because I really have to pee. Like I cannot walk, I cannot run. I can just do a little penguin wobble, a little penguin wobble to the like down the stairs, and the penguin wobble down the hall, penguin wobble. I'm looking like Happy Feet. Come back up. Lo and behold, now it's 10 o'clock, 10:02, 10:0 something. It's 10 something. She's still in there. And at this point, I literally want to cry. So I'm like, am I going to cry? No. Do I want to? Yeah. Am I going to? No. Because it'd just be ridiculous. And then, like, I'd break out in hives. Why would I cry? Why would I cry? So I don't. I get my stuff together. Why am I really getting teary? I'm thinking about it. This isn't even the worst part of the story. I get myself together, I'm like, get my towel, shower shoes. If you don't wear shower shoes and you use the showers on your campus, what are you doing? Wear shower shoes. Put shower shoes on your feet. You're nasty. Okay, so got my shower shoes. I have my little shower mat, my shower caddy. Have everything, skincare, all that good stuff. And yeah, I realize I'm standing there in my robe like this robe to be exact, that Instagram gifted me. Reels, when Reels first launched. Shout out to Meta. Marxie's my homeboy. No, I'm just kidding. We never met. Anyways, but shout out to Meta. Okay. And, yeah, so I'm waiting there in my robe. I look stupid. I'm waiting there for like 5 minutes. I'm like, okay. Yeah, she's just not coming out anytime soon. So I lay down, you know, on my bed, naked, lay down, close my eyes for what I assumed to be about 5 minutes. It wasn't. It was an hour. So she comes out at around 11:45, 11:55, which makes it 4 hours. So she went there at 7:50, right? We got 8:50, 9:50, 10:50, 11:50. That's 4 hours. So she was in the bathroom for 4 hours. I don't know what she was doing for these 4 hours. I don't even know how one can be in the bathroom for 4 hours. Also, I don't know how one bathroom, okay, maybe we can justify that. Maybe if you were getting ready for an event, doing some hair, some makeup, nails, whatever, that could be justified. But in the shower for 4 hours? My brother and Chris, what are you doing? What are you doing? What? Like, seriously, what? So she was there 4 hours. Finally, you know, like, I'm laying down. I've drifted off into a nice deep sleep. I'm in a REM sleep, a REM state of sleep. And then I, like a vampire, you know, I jump up, eyes fling open. I feel like Anna and Frozen, you know? It's coronation day. You know, that's how I feel. Like, I'm so freaking excited. I'm jumping for joy. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, baby Jesus. And the big one, too. Thank you. She's out. You know, grab my stuff. I, like, go in. And then when I walk in, I'm like, oh! You know, I probably screamed. I was like, whoo! Jump scare. Oh my god. Y'all, the bathroom? It looked like, I shit you not, a porta potty at a festival. Like, you know, and y'all know what I'm talking about. It looked like a porta potty at Six Flags. Y'all, it was, yeah, is right. Tell him Ghosty. I call him Ghost Malone. Anyways, yeah, it was scary. Like, that was some scary shit. Like, it was scary. There's hair all over the walls, and not just the hair from your head. The hair from every single part of your body. Like, it was just hair in places I didn't even know hair could go on the shower. It was hair on the shower head. And like, she wasn't that tall. Like, she was taller than me, but she wasn't that tall. Like, she wasn't like pushing 6 feet or higher to where her head would, like, you know, hit the shower head. No. I don't know if she put her head like under it, just went, you know, like that. I don't really know, but there were clumps of hair in the shower head. I'm like, did this bitch just put pieces of hair in the shower head? Don't really know. You know, I wanted to call the cops because I'm like, bitch, like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, what do I do? Who do I call? Ghostbusters? It was so disgusting. Aside from that, we got toothpaste smeared on the wall. Just constant toothpaste smeared on the wall. And it wasn't like white toothpaste. No, it was like blue toothpaste, like little kid toothpaste. You know, y'all know the one I'm talking about, that Crest blue one. Yeah, Crest Kids. Yeah, that shit. It was like smeared on the walls. We have white walls. Why are they blue? Why are they blue, Chelsea? Why are they blue? Aside from that, we got some Tree Hut, Bath and Body Works, whatever, the sugar scrub. Y'all know the sugar scrub? You put on your skin, you know, you work it in, you get a nice little scrub. All that's smeared on the wall, and it's also on the floor too, and in like crevices of the shower. So I'm like, at this point, did she even attempt to put any on her body? Why is it smeared all over the place? And you know what? What does sugar attract? What does sugar attract, friends? You guessed it, ants and bugs. So ants were starting to trail in because, you know, we lived in the woods. So ants were starting to come in, and I'm like, my anxiety is at an all-time high. I've never even experienced anxiety like this, you know. I'm a pretty chill person. But that night I was one anxious bitch, I tell ya. So anyways, I'm like, okay, I gotta clean this up. And you know, at this point, like, my eyes are watery. I'm gonna cry because I don't even know what to say. Like, do I knock on her door? Do I say, hey, did you mean to leave this like this? Like, are you gonna clean this up? But then again, I just also don't have any energy. Like, I am drained. I am mentally and physically drained from moving in, from doing the little bit of homework that was to kick off the semester, because, you know, professors were like, wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it be sexy if we just signed homework before the course starts? So anyways, I'm drained. I'm tired. I've been waiting to use the bathroom for 4 freaking hours. I'm like, I'll just clean it up. I'll just put my big girl pants on and I'll clean it up. So I clean it up, take care of the whole ant-man situation. I take care of the hair. It was so nasty. Like, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm literally getting goosebumps talking about this. That's how disgusting it was. I clean up the sugar scrub shit. I clean up the smeared toothpaste. And on top of that, the bathroom smells horrendous. Also, it's freezing. It's freezing. Mind you, it wasn't cold outside. Like, we went back to school in, like, September, the beginning of September. It's still a good, like, 80 to 70 degrees outside. But I mean, it's night, so it's more like 70 to 60 degrees. But it's warm. Warm for New York, you know? It's warm. And the bathroom was cold. Because why? She left the window open, wide open. So we had a window and then a screen. She had the window and the screen open. And then the screen had all this, like, dirty brown stuff that I would later come to find out was smoke smog. What's up, guys? We're back. So I had to switch from recording. Let me just move the camera over a little bit. Okay, that's better. What's up, guys? We're back. So I had to switch from recording on my camera to my phone because my camera died. Then when I tried exporting the footage, it was like I don't have enough space on my phone. Then it was like I don't have enough space on my camera. So I'm just gonna record on my phone. And now we're up to the climax of the story, because that's the part that I was gonna export and edit. And it didn't edit. It didn't export, so I couldn't edit it. So we got to do all that over. Anyways, let's get into it. So now we're in the middle of the semester. It's either like end of October, middle of November. And, you know, we're still figuring out how to work with each other. She's still a mega bitch. I'm still regular old me. So one morning, it was like a Thursday or a Friday morning. I believe it was a Thursday morning, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, but almost to the end of the week. And that particular night, I stayed up like studying for an exam, or like doing assignments and whatnot. So I didn't go to sleep until around like 2, 3, maybe 4 a.m. So I only got like anywhere from 3 to 4.5-ish hours of sleep. And I decided to sleep in too, because at that point I normally get up at 6, but I really needed the sleep. So I slept in till about like 7:30ish, maybe 6:45ish. But I didn't get out of bed until 7. So like I, you know, sprinted to the bathroom, did my regular morning routine, got in the shower, brushed my teeth, all that good stuff. And, you know, I'm coming out of the bathroom, I'm naked, I'm like in my robe. And, you know, as I mentioned before, my door doesn't really work. I don't have a threshold on the door, so I have to yank it really hard to close it and push it really hard to open it. So I'm taking my stuff out of the bathroom, go back in my room, yank the door, you know, lock it, and then I go to like moisturize and whatnot. And I hear a knocking at the door. Boom, 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 boom. Like very loud. I'm thinking it's like the cops and they're going to tell me my freaking mother's dead, you know? Or it's like an RA or something. No, it wasn't. So I go to my main door, not my hallway door. And I'm like, yeah, hello? And I hear, can you stop slamming the fucking door? And I'm like, whoa, wait. I'm like, okay, so definitely not the cops. Most likely not an RA. And so I was like, excuse me? And they're like, yeah, can you stop slamming the fucking door? It's 7 a.m. and people are trying to sleep. And it's super off when you're being like fucking rude. Stop slamming the fucking door before I fuck you up. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, I clocked that T. So I go to the hallway door when I realize that it's Chelsea. And I'm like, what did you just say to me? And she says it again, you know, she's going in. Like, she's calling me every name in the book. She calls me a bitch, a slut, an asshole, a cunt. So she's really going in. Mind you, it's 7 a.m. Like, it's literally 7 a.m. People were getting up, getting their day started. Like, the dorm wasn't super quiet. And like I said before, old building, you could literally hear like a pin drop. You could hear every single thing. So you hear other people like hustling and bustling to get out the door. Not really a big deal. But, you know, I didn't have music blasting. If I did have music on, it was very, very low. So low to the point I couldn't even hear it. But just to kind of like help me get out of bed and get motivated. So at this point, I grabbed my phone. I hit record because I'm like, no one's going to believe this unless I, you know, actually get evidence and proof of her saying all this. So I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what's your problem? And she's like, oh, you're slamming the door. And she's at my door. Like, I can clearly see there's a little gap underneath my door. So I can see her like pacing back and forth. Like, I see her shadow moving, and she's leaning on my door, like still banging on it. But I'm like, why are you banging on it? And I'm talking to you. And so I'm like, well, no, we're not going to do that this morning. I have to get dressed. And so, you know, at this point, I did have a little back and forth where I was like, you're not going to talk to me like that. I'm a grown-ass woman. I can do whatever the fuck I want in my dorm room. So can you. I was like, you're going to get away from my door, and I'm going to get dressed, and I'm going to leave and go to class. Because at that point, typically I'd already be out the door because I lived downhill. So it was about a 5 to 10 minute walk uphill to get to the main science hall for my science classes, and my first class was at 8 a.m. And you know, yeah, it was definitely a Thursday because I had lab. It was an 8 a.m. lab, 8 a.m. biology lab. So I get my stuff, I get dressed, but then I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna address this. Like, I'm gonna address this elephant in the room before I leave out. But I already emailed like my RA, I emailed Res Life, I like told my mom, I called her, I was like on the brink of tears, and like I was angry because it was one of those things where like you want to get to someone and you want to fuck them up so bad, but like you can't, because it's like if I would have fought her, I would have got expelled. Why would I get expelled in my junior year and I'm literally about to graduate and she's already a senior? Like, they're not going to do anything to her. Like, I would be getting all the repercussions of my actions, even though she's the one that's been instigating and starting with me from day one. So, you know, after I get dressed, I go, like, she's still like by my door this whole time I'm getting dressed. She's yelling, she's cursing at me in English and in Spanish. But I get dressed and then I go to open my door, you know, and I'm like, you know, can we, and I go to open my door and all I hear is, like, she sprints, like she bends the hell out of that hallway. She sprints back to her room so fast. All you hear is that, and then, like, she's locking all the door. She's locking her whole door with a bunch of these locks. So I return that same energy, boom, 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 on her hallway door. I'm like, yo, can we talk about this like woman to woman? Because what you just did, that shit was not cool, and I'm not gonna let that slide. Like, come on, talk to me face to face. What was that about? Like, what did I do to you? I can count on my hand like how many words you've said to me thus far in the semester. So now she gets super quiet. I can't hear her. Literally sounds like a mouse squealing. She's like, no, I was just saying it's like 7 a.m. and like people are trying to sleep. So can you not open the door? So I'm like, huh? Like, what did you say? And she repeats it again. She's like, no, I was just saying like it's like 7 a.m. Mind you, she doesn't open the door. She's like talking through the crack of the door. She's like, I was just saying that it's 7 a.m. and people are trying to sleep. And I'm like, first of all, yeah, it's 7 a.m. but people are now, it's 7 a.m. on a college campus. People are not trying to sleep. People are not sleeping. People are out the door. Some people are like already on their way to their first class. No one is sleeping. But, you know, so again, I'm like, you know what, maybe she feels like crowded in. I'm in the hallway. The hallway is but so big. Let me go out to the main hallway where all the other dorms are and, you know, where our RA is, and maybe she could get involved and resolve this. So I'm like, you know, let me do that. Lo and behold, our RA wasn't there that morning. I don't know why she wasn't there. She wasn't there the night before, and she wasn't there that morning. I'm not sure if she called out sick or whatever, but she just wasn't there. So, you know, I go and I knock on her hallway door. Again, return that same energy. Boom, 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 boom. Because she scared the crap out of me when she knocks. So, yeah, hell yeah, I'm going to return that energy and scare the crap out of her. And she comes back to the door. She never opens the door. This girl never opens the door. It was like, it was giving punk. Like, it was giving coward. Like, she never opened the door. I was like, yeah, so what's up? And she's like, no, I was just saying, like, it was rude that you, like, close the door like that. And I'm like, okay, but you know my door is broken and I have to pull it to close it. Why would you even take that personal? Like, I didn't even know you were in your room until you knocked on my door screaming. Like, why would you take that personal when I'm closing my door? So, you know, all that goes on. You know, I'm talking to her for a while. Like, people can hear our whole conversation. People are like peeking out of their dorms. People are heading out to their classes. So they see this whole discussion. And she's just like, no, it's not that big of a deal. Like, you're making it more than what it has to be. I was like, no, you're the one that approached me. You're making it more than it has to be. And I'm like, I'm not going to do this all day. I was like, unlike you, I actually have a class to go to, and I go to my classes. So we can talk about this later. So I go to my class, go on about my day, respond to emails with ResLife. And one thing leads to another. They schedule this roommate mediation, which I have a clip about. So I'm just going to start the next part of this video where I think the clip ends for that one. And they're like, oh, due to this, we're going to schedule you guys for a a roommate conflict resolution meeting with someone on our lovely ResLife staff. See you guys then. And, they put the date and the time. But I'm like, why the fuck would they CC her? You can see my original message on the email chain. And I didn't just include, like, the part of her just, like, berating me, knocking at my door and berating me. No, I also included the other part, like, the really gross shit about how she left the bathroom, how she was smoking in the bathroom, and all that other stuff, like, the inappropriate language. Like, I literally said I put all of that shit in the email. And it's like, why would you CC her with the original copy of my message on the email? So she saw all of that. When I get back to my dorm, end of the day, she's there. She does the long shower thing again. And at this point, I think one point she wasn't even in the bathroom. She just had the water running. Like, she was just being, like, so bitchy. And I literally hear her complaining about me. And she's like, oh, like, she's on the phone with her parents. She's like, oh, like, they're saying I could face, like, expulsion because it's bullying and harassment. She's like, I never did anything to that preppy, squirrely bitch. I'm so sick of that black bitch. Like, she's going in. Like, she is fucking going in on me. Like, I hear everything. I'm just like, wow. Like, okay, thanks for telling me how you really feel. Just wish you would have said it to my face. Would have respected her, like, way more if she would have said any of this to my face. And, like, all that. So I hear her complaining. I hear her, like, talking shit about me the entire time. And, at that point, I didn't even want to go to sleep. Like, I did not feel safe enough to go to sleep. And, like, even my mom was like, why don't you just go sleep in your friend's room? So, like, or, like, see if you could just hang out with her, until this girl, like, calms down or goes to sleep. Thankfully, I did have a friend who lived on the same floor as me. She lived down the hall. But I was like, no, I don't really feel like doing that. And, like, when I went by, her girlfriend was there. So, like, her girlfriend was spending the night at her dorm. So, like, I didn't want to impose. But I did tell them, like, a little bit about what happened. They're like, oh, no, we're so sorry. Just, like, knock if you need anything. Like, if you want to, like, stay on FaceTime until you go to sleep. I was like, that's sweet. But no, I'm not going to do that. Like, it's fine. Like, enjoy your time together. So, yeah, and then that night, my RA wasn't there. Like, I guess she was home or in another building. I don't know if she was picking up a shift for someone, but she wasn't on our floor. So, like, literally anything could have happened. Like, this bitch could have took a chainsaw and just, like, chainsawed my door down and killed me, But thankfully, that didn't happen. But, like, I wasn't, and it's not the fact that I was scared. It was just that I was frustrated because it's, like, one of those things when you want to catch someone so bad and you can't, like, probably have Candace on Phineas and Ferb feels, but sort of a little amped up higher. Like, when you really want to fight someone, like, I wanted to throw hands so bad, and I couldn't, because one, I didn't want to get expelled. It would be so shitty of me to get expelled my junior year, literally about to graduate the next year. Why would I do that? And I get it, it's the end of the year. Some people have end of the year stress. You might get into an argument and whatnot, but you literally screaming at the top of your lungs at someone who never talked to you, who never uttered a word except hi, and tried to introduce themselves to you, is like beyond fucked up. And you did it at like 7 a.m. You did it when I was vulnerable. Like, you knew I had just come out of the shower. I didn't really have on any clothes. Like, the floor was wet. Like, I could have slept. Like, there were just so many things that could have happened. And, like, she knew all of that. So anyways, a few days go by. We have our our roommate, I don't know why I keep saying student, our roommate conflict resolution meeting. So I walk in, I think I'm getting there early. The meeting starts at 2:30. I think I got there at around 2 or 2:15, maybe 2:20. But I got there early. It was like around 2:15. And, I go in there. Lo and behold, guess who's in there early? Miss Chelsea. She's there. Shocker, she's early for once. What the hell? So I'm like, oh my god. Like, I want to just bang my head on the freaking desk. Like, that's what I feel like doing. Anyways. Because, like, the whole area was glass. But anyways, when I walk into ResLife, so before I see her, in the meeting early, when I walk into ResLife, Like, I was pretty much friends with everyone, you know, on a friendly first name basis with everyone in Res Life, and they're like, hey, Donshea, like, what are you doing here? Like, what happened? Is it like a maintenance issue? You know, you have to email maintenance. I'm like, no. They're like, oh, did they come by about your door? I'm like, no, they haven't come and fixed my door yet. My door is literally the reason why I'm here. They're like, oh, well, what happened? Like, they're like, did something happen? I'm like, yeah. Unfortunately, something did happen. They're like, what? I'm like, my roommate decided to scream at me for no reason. Now we have to have like a conflict resolution meeting. And they're like, you have to have a conflict resolution meeting? I'm like, yeah, I literally just said that. They're like, oh no, we're so sorry. You know, hopefully it goes well. It did not. It did not go well. Because the whole time in this fucked up meeting, this bitch was blaming every single thing on me. She was blaming me for things that I didn't even do. And this is important. I had braids. Like, see how my hair is out? My hair wasn't like that. Like, I had braids during this whole period. I wore braids for like the first 2 months of school. And yes, we have our meeting. Res Life lady, super sweet, knew her, like, went to other school events with her. She's very sweet. And she was like, how's it going? I'm like, terrible. And she's like, oh, well, I'm so sorry. But when I come in, you know, I greet everyone. I'm like, hi, Miss So-and-so, Res Life lady. I'm like, hi, Chelsea, how are ya? How you doing today? Everything's good, all right? She goes from talking like this is the most she's ever talked. She's like talking, she's like she's in it, you know, she is in it. Like, she's talking to the Res Life lady. Most I've ever seen her lips move. And she doesn't talk to me. She crosses her arms like this, rolls her head, rolls her eyes, and then goes, And she has a hoodie on, by the way. So she pulls her hoodie up all the way, closes it, and sits like this for the duration of the whole meeting. The whole meeting sits like that, does not look me in the eye, does not address me once, doesn't say hi. And so it was so dramatic and ratchet that our Res Life counselor, the person who's supposed to be mediating this meeting, she literally starts laughing. Like, she's like, ah, like she cackles, and she's like, ah, and she's like, oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry, please have a seat. So I sat down. This is me, and the room was pretty small, so this is Chelsea. Like, we're literally right next to each other, except I'm facing front, her body's facing this way. Anytime I talk, she cuts me off. So the Res Life person is like, okay, in your own words, please explain what happened. Like, you're talking about me. She's like, we got your report in the email, but could you just explain what happened so I can report the incident on my end? I'm like, sure. So I explain what happened, and then every time I'm talking, Chelsea's like, that did not happen. She approached me. Anyways, and then like the Res Life person's like, you know, Miss So-and-so, you can't speak while Miss Hopkins is speaking. You have to let her make her statement. So give me a statement. She talks throughout the whole thing of it. Then she gives her statement. And, you know, I don't talk except for one part. I'm like, that's not true. When she's like, she came knocking on my door. I'm like, that's not true. You knocked on my door. And, you know, the Res Life lady, she returned the same energy. She was like, Miss Hopkins, you can't speak while Miss So-and-so speaking. So she wraps up her statement. Then she goes, you know what, can you guys tell us what has been the issue? She's like, Miss Hopkins, you said there were like cleanliness and hygienic issues. Can you please state that? And so now Chelsea, she's like, she's lying the whole time I'm speaking. She's like screaming like bloody murder, like she's lying, you know? So I give my statement. I'm like, well, from our first night as suite mates, roommates, whatever you want to call it, I said she left the bathroom a mess. I literally spent me and my family cleaned our room beforehand on move-in day. And then she made a mess of it that night. I was like, first, earlier in the day, her boyfriend used the bathroom. And so the Res Life lady's like, wait, boyfriend? I'm like, yeah, he used the bathroom. And she's like, yeah, that's against like rules and regulations. You can't do that. Like, of course, he can be an overnight guest, but he can't use your personal bathroom. Like, you would have to go and use the men's showers. And, you know, she doesn't say anything to this. She just rolls her eyes. And then she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Like, bitch, you've been here for 4 years. You fucking knew. And yeah, so that goes on, and I'm telling her, I'm like, he used the bathroom, he left it a mess. Then later on that night, she used the bathroom, and there was hair everywhere. I'm like, I have photos, I'm showing the photos. I'm like, there's hair. There was like this gray, dark, black, like ash or whatever. I came to find out later it was smog because she was smoking in the room. I was like, when operations came to schedule the day to fix my door, they asked if I smoked. I told them no, and they were like, oh, this is like cigarette and weed smoke, like this is marijuana, this is smog. I was like, so there's smog in the bathroom smells like weed, very heavy. It was a very heavy marijuana smell. So I'm detailing all the accounts that happened. I'm like, there was body scrub on the floor. It caused ants to come due to the sugar in it, so I had to clean up the ants. I had to clean up the body scrub and all this stuff. I was like, there's toothpaste. There was stuff smeared on the walls that I don't know what it was, but it was just lots of hair everywhere. And so the res life lady's literally cringing. She's like, ugh, like she's cringing at this. Then Chelsea gives her a statement and she's like, she's lying. That never happened. It's been her hair that's all over the floor. She plays music. She has all these guys visiting her dorm. Now, that was a fucking lie. The only guy that ever visited my dorm was my dad. Like, the only people that ever visited my dorm, I can literally count on my hand. My mom, my dad, my family during move-in day. And that was it. They never came back after that. One of my friends, because we were having a girls' night. And, you know, we were doing makeup in my room. And then we left and hung out. And my RA, because she killed a roach that Chelsea had brought in. Well, okay, let me stop lying. I don't know if Chelsea brought the roach in, but she was doing laundry that day. And the laundry room in our dorm was known to have roaches in it, like roaches and water bugs, because we were right by the water. My school was on the Hudson River, for context. Not sure if I stated that before. And my building was right by the forest, so lots of little critters, you know, woodland critters, bugs, whatever. That shit was not demure, okay? And so she was dragging her laundry basket, and I'm like, why is she dragging the laundry basket? Like, something's gonna get up in there. But prior to that, we never had bugs, you know, except for the ants. We never had roaches, water bugs, nothing like that, rodents. You know, we were blessed, knock on wood. Like, we never had that. So yeah, a roach that she brought in, and my RA killed it, you know. So, but that was it. Like, literally, I only had like I said, can count on my hand how many people have ever been in my dorm. So she was super duper lying. And so she goes on, and she's like, yeah, there's hair on the floor. Mind you, the hair that was on the floor was long and black, like jet black. My hair is not black. My hair is brown, but it's more of like a russet brown, a very warm golden brown with lots of red tones in it, especially when I was younger. Like, my hair is very red and orangey. And it just looks like my hair is dark because I have a lot of hair on my head. But if you put a light to my head, you can see my hair is not that dark. Also, my hair is curly. And during college, I kept my hair either in a silk press or with braids. Like, I did not get braids until I was in college. And I found that it was very easy to just have braids in college because I didn't have to worry about doing my hair in the morning. So at this point, I had braids, and the braids were not brown or black. They were blonde bohemian braids. Like, for most of college, my hair was literally blonde. Like, I would change my hair color so much that it literally became a topic of discussion amongst like faculty, like professors, staff, students. They'd be like, oh, which color is Donshea's hair gonna be today, you know? So I kept my hair blonde, at like various shades of blonde for college. So my hair was in blonde bohemian braids, and she's like, my hair's on the floor. So our res life lady, she's like, oh, they were like blonde hairs on the floor. She's like, no. So this girl sat up here lying. And then she was like, oh, she plays all this music really loudly. I was like, I literally have my headphones in 95% of the time. The only time I ever play music out loud is when I'm rehearsing a song, because I was taking piano and guitar. I couldn't practice piano in my dorm because I didn't have my keyboard, but I would bring my guitar. So I would practice like my acoustic guitar. And if it was my electric guitar, if you know anything about electric guitars, they're super silent unless you have an amp. Like, the sound has to be amplified. Other than that, you can't really hear a sound that an electric guitar makes. But for the most part, I had my acoustic guitar, which I would play super low. Like, I wouldn't play it loud at all because I was aware that I was sharing a space with other people. Unlike her, who would play her fucking JBL speaker, blasting Eminem and rock and Bad Bunny at 4 a.m. I wasn't doing that shit. So yeah, so then she starts lying, and she's like, well, what kind of music? And then she's like, she's playing the guitar. And so our res life lady was like, oh, you play guitar? That's so cool. I was like, yeah. I'm like, I take classes at the conservatory here. And I was like, you know, I just play it like in the mornings. Like, I try to play it when quiet hours are not in effect, or when I don't think she's there. I said, but I do practice in the morning before I go to my class. And whatnot. I was like, but I'm very cautious of it. I keep it very low. So yeah, we don't come to much of a resolution. This would go on to be like the meeting. Then they make us sign a cleaning agreement because she says I don't clean the dorm. Mind you, I literally would clean my dorm every Friday. Me and my mom, Clorox, Lysol, generation method. Like, we had all the cleaning stuff. We would clean it, and then I would go home for the weekend. And then I do a light cleaning on Monday when I came back, just because I didn't know who was in that bathroom when I was gone, you know? And so I told, like, the res life lady that, and she's like, okay, well, it seems like, you know, Miss Hopkins is doing most of the cleaning. Would you step up and do your part? And she's like, that's a lie. I clean that bathroom every Friday. And literally, y'all, just to make a point, anytime me and my mom would clean the bathroom when we were leaving out, she would go and, like, bring cleaning stuff and try to clean it over. Like, what are you cleaning? The bathroom's already clean. Just take the win, you know? Stop creating problems when there are no problems. So this would become an ongoing thing. And she's like, and so the res life lady's like, well, what would you define as clean? What does cleanliness look like to you? So I give my statement. I'm like, oh, I think like once a month, like a deep cleaning is good. Then just doing light cleaning throughout the course of the month. If something's dirty, you clean it up. You just don't let it pile up. That would be my definition of clean, like of keeping a space clean. And then, you know, Chelsea, she's like constantly talking as I'm talking. She's like, that's dirty. Like, that's mad dirty. What? Like, I just gave her a definition of what clean is. So then res life lady goes, okay, Miss So-and-so, you can't talk while Miss Hopkins is talking. What would your definition of clean be? And she's like, oh, I guess like a deep cleaning every day. And the res life lady's like the woman was too stunned to speak. She was confused. She's like, well, if you're doing a deep clean once a month, why would you feel the need to do a deep clean every day? Like, you only need 1 to 2 deep cleans a month to keep a bathroom clean. As long as you're cleaning it when it gets dirty, you're good. She's like, that's a bit excessive. And she's like, you're both full-time students. I don't think you have time to do a deep cleaning every day. You know, like, this lady's trying to say, hey, like, I'm giving you a bone, take it. If your roommate is deep cleaning every month, why do you feel the need to, like, give her shit about it, basically, you know? And then finally she's like, I don't know, just cleaning. Like, that's what I would call clean. And so we're both like, huh? Like, we're both confused. Like, girl, shut up. Like, you know what, girl? Whatever, you know? So Resolutely is like, okay. She's like, since I can't read your minds, and I don't know what either of you would really call deep clean. She's like, Miss Hopkins, I think your definition is right on par. She's like, but you know, to make sure that everyone does their part here, as in addition to the roommate resolution, conflict resolution form that you had to sign, I'm going to give you a cleaning form, a cleaning schedule, a cleaning duty schedule form. So I had to sign it, Chelsea had to sign it, and it was just like, oh, every other Friday, one person's going to clean. So she's like, who will take on the first Friday? I was like, I'll do it. It's fine. Like, I already do it anyways. And she was like, okay, great. And, you know, it ends there. And she's like, okay, now you two can shake hands if you'd like to. So I extend my hand. This bitch still side, hoodie up, screw facing me, as if I did something to her when she's the one who damn near gave me a heart attack by knocking at my door at 7 a.m. in the morning. And so I'm like, all right, whatever. She doesn't shake my hand. So I go to shake the res life lady's hand. I'm like, thank you so much, Miss So-and-so. You were a great help. You know, if anything, I'll let you know, and I'll keep you updated on how our roommate agreement goes. So that Friday, I clean the room. After I clean it, y'all know, she goes in the bathroom. She's in there for ages as I'm packing up to go home. And I'm like, I don't even have the energy to deal with it or say anything. So I'm like, whatever. That Monday, I come back. What do I come back to when I come back to campus Monday morning? Well, no, not Monday morning, Sunday night, because I would come on Sunday nights. What did I come back to on Sunday night? A big glob of shit. I came back to a big glob of shit in the toilet. Just the shit, no toilet paper. So I'm like, did she even wipe her ass? Like, what? So it was just a glob of shit in the toilet, just poop, a big brick of poop, just sitting there. And it's not like it was something that looked like poop. No, it was poop, because the bathroom smelled bad. It smelled like shit and weed, and it was just bad. So I had to flush it, and I'm like, what the hell? And it was one of those poops that was like breaking apart as I was flushing it. So I had to flush the toilet like 5 times. I took a photo of it beforehand, and, you know, I sent it to Res Life, and I know they're probably like, who the hell is sending us photos of poop? So I sent it, and I'm like, hey, you know, I came back to my dorm to this. Like, can you guys send her a reminder to, like, you know, flush the toilet, clean up after herself? And I don't remember if they responded or whatnot, but it was something like, okay, but it's not our responsibility, like, you have to talk to her. But this girl was impossible to catch. Like, at this point, I'm already furious. I'm furious because, like, you got me fucked up. I'm signing a clean agreement. I was already cleaning the bathroom every Friday. Now I'm cleaning it every other Friday, but I still clean it on Sunday nights when I get back because I just didn't trust her cleanliness. For all I know, she could have smeared, like, toilet water on the shower head, which she probably did. So every time I went to use the bathroom, I just cleaned that shit because I was so on edge and scared, you know? So I really just didn't know what to do at that point. But it was so gross. Like, it didn't resolve anything. And this girl made herself so unavailable. Like, all I wanted to do was have a conversation with her. When I tell you, this bitch was like, catch me if you can. Like, I could not find this bitch at all. And then she would be in her room and she would be as quiet as a mouse. And the walls are thin, so you can hear everything. I could not hear her at all. So I never know when she was in her dorm, when she wasn't in her dorm. It was very much like living with the spy. I was on edge all the time. And I just wanted to have a conversation, but I also, like, I just had the feminine urge to punch her in the face. Like, I just wanted to rock her shit really good, like, one time. Just give her something to think about. Like, every time you see me, you need to be reminded that I fucked you up. That's all I wanted. But, you know, I couldn't get that. And also, if I did, like I said, I probably wouldn't have graduated. I would have been suspended or expelled or on some probationary period with my college. And why would I do that when I was graduating within 1 year? But, you know, yeah, your girl made it to the end of the semester, never had to see her again because she graduated. And, you know, I watched the graduation ceremony because my school would live stream their ceremonies ever since COVID. So I watched it. You know, they give her diploma, and this bitch is still rude. She walks on stage. I've never seen anyone snatch a diploma and the way she snatched her. She was like, and she had an attitude, like, rolled her eyes. Like, I've never seen someone with an attitude on graduation day. Like, you're supposed to be happy. Like, she didn't even say thank you. She just grabbed it, rolled her eyes, and kept walking. I'm like, who rolls their eyes as they're graduating? Like, you got to live with that memory forever, you know? But I don't know where she is in life. I hope she's had an attitude adjustment. I hope her life is better, and that she's, like, not living in misery. But yeah, that was my junior year. And it's one of those things, like, if I could do it over, I would. Like, I think at that point, I would have just preferred to have, like, a regular, normal roommate situation instead of the suite. Because I didn't even get to enjoy the perks of the suite, like having access to a personal bathroom, because majority of the time she was taking up the bathroom, for really no good reason at all. So yeah, I feel like if I could go back in time and do something over, I would probably do that over, because I did enjoy junior year. Like, it was one of the last good years I had. My senior year, it wasn't bad. It was just it just really got kind of stressful at the end. And I feel like that's a whole nother video for a whole nother story time. But if you know me, you know that I was, like, very big on being involved in student activities and clubs. And it was just like everything came crashing down at once for my senior year, which I'm probably being super dramatic about that. But I would definitely talk to you guys about that in another video. But yeah, that concludes the video. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I know this was a long one, but we got through it. If you want to hear more story times, let me know in the comments. Yeah, so if you want to see more story times about college, if you want to know how my senior year went, want to know more day-to-day life story times, more vlogs, I don't have my car anymore, so I won't be doing any, like, more sing-along in the car videos, those carpool karaoke's, which I personally love. Those are my favorite videos. And they get copyrighted a lot, too, because of the music in them. So I won't be doing those for a while. But, yeah, let me know what you guys want to see in the comments below, and I'll make sure to, you know, keep y'all updated. All right. Mwah. I love you all so much, and peace out, Troop Scouts.